Have you ever found yourself feeling like your emotions are controlling your life? Like, instead of you choosing how to act, they dictate every step you take. Today, you will discover a different path. Imagine the ancient wisdom of the samurai, masters of self-control, who faced both external and internal battles with unwavering strength. Their secret? Emotional intelligence. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to share with you some powerful lessons from the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi, author of The Book of Five Rings. Musashi was not just a warrior. He was a strategist of the mind, someone who understood that the real battle begins within us. In today's video, you will learn how to apply samurai principles to strengthen your emotional intelligence and face any challenge with calmness and confidence. So, if you're tired of being a prisoner of your own emotions and want to take control of your life, stay with me until the end. Together, let's explore the teachings of Japan's most legendary samurai and how they can transform your mind and, consequently, your destiny. I will introduce you to the concepts of the Book of Five Rings and how Miyamoto Musashi's teachings relate to emotional intelligence, and most importantly, I will show you how these concepts can be applied to your life. Miyamoto Musashi was one of the most renowned samurai in Japanese history, known not only for his unparalleled skills on the battlefield but also for his profound life philosophy. His journey is marked by countless victorious duels, many of which he won not just through physical strength but through mastery of his mind. Musashi understood early on that true combat was not only fought with swords but within the mind itself. Emotions, fears, and insecurities can be as devastating as any armed opponent. This realization led him to develop a life strategy that went beyond physical combat, focusing on emotional intelligence and serenity. In the Book of Five Rings, Musashi reveals a system of thought that applies to everyday life, far beyond martial arts. He addresses the mastery of the mind and spirit as essential tools to overcome the inner battles that we all face. Each ring in the book represents an element of nature: earth, water, fire, wind, and void, and through them, Musashi describes principles we can use to become masters of our emotions. And what does this have to do with your current challenges? Everything. In the modern world, our battles may not be fought with swords but with anxiety, fear of failure, and uncertainty about the future. Musashi teaches us that by developing emotional intelligence, we can face these battles with a serene posture and a sharp mind. The first ring, Earth. The foundation of emotional intelligence. The first ring Musashi describes is Earth. Earth is the foundation, the base upon which everything is built. In terms of emotional intelligence, Earth represents self-knowledge. Just as a samurai needs to have their feet firmly on the ground to fight, you need to know yourself deeply to face life's challenges. Musashi teaches that understanding our feelings, recognizing our fears, and accepting our weaknesses is the first step toward true emotional control. Have you ever taken the time to reflect on the emotions you feel? How often do you act impulsively without understanding the source of that emotion? For Musashi, the true warrior is not the one who ignores their feelings but the one who faces, understands, and uses that knowledge to make conscious decisions. To start applying this teaching, take a moment every day to observe yourself. When a strong emotion arises, don't react immediately. Ask yourself, where is this emotion coming from? What is the real cause? This simple process is like planting your feet on solid ground before acting. It is from this firm foundation that the ability to stay calm amidst chaos is born. Perfect. Now let's move on to the second ring, Water, and explore how the fluidity and adaptability described by Musashi connect to developing emotional intelligence. The second ring, Water, the fluidity of the emotional mind. After grounding yourself in earth, Musashi guides us to the element of water. Water is the essence of adaptability. It changes shape according to its environment, flows around obstacles, and finds paths where no one else can. When it comes to emotional intelligence, water teaches us to be flexible, to adapt to situations, and to handle emotions in a light and natural way. How many times have you found yourself stuck in a pattern of behavior, repeating impulsive reactions in stressful moments? Musashi's wisdom tells us that, just like water, we need to learn to shape ourselves to life's challenges. If we cling to negative emotions, like anger or resentment, we become rigid, unable to flow toward our goals. The practice of mind like water involves learning to observe thoughts and emotions as they arise without clinging to them. Imagine your feelings as a current. They come and go, but you can choose how to react. The secret is to become like water, aware of the emotions but not limited by them. Instead of being carried away by anger or anxiety, you flow with them, letting them pass while maintaining your focus. In daily life, practice this adaptability by observing your thoughts during moments of conflict. When facing a difficult decision or a stressful situation, ask yourself, how can I flow with this instead of fighting against it? By accepting change and adapting to it, you develop the ability to navigate life with serenity, just as water moves around the rocks in a river. The third ring, fire, passion controlled by reason. After the fluidity of water, Musashi takes us to fire. Fire symbolizes passion, the raw force of emotions that drive us to act. But here's the difference. While uncontrolled fire can destroy everything around it, fire under control is the source of power and transformation. In the context of emotional intelligence, fire is the energy you feel, anger, enthusiasm, desire, and the ability to channel it productively. Musashi teaches that passion is necessary, but only when properly directed. How many times has anger caused you to act in a way you later regretted? The samurai's secret was to use this internal flame as fuel for conscious action, instead of allowing it to take control. Controlling fire means learning to recognize the raw energy of emotions and transform them into motivation. When you feel anger, for example, use it as an alert. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Instead of acting impulsively, turn this energy into something positive. It can be an opportunity to change an uncomfortable situation, to express yourself clearly, or to pursue something you desire. Practice this in your daily life. The next time you feel driven by intense emotion, take a deep breath and ask yourself, how can I use this energy constructively? This is the path of controlled fire, channeling your emotions to move toward your goals without burning yourself in the process. Great. Now let's move on to the fourth ring, wind, and how it relates to perception and understanding of the world around us. If these teachings are making sense to you and helping awaken a new perspective on emotional intelligence and inner wisdom, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Don't forget to activate the bell to receive notifications of future videos. The fourth ring, wind, understanding the world and emotions. The fourth ring in the Book of 5 Rings is wind. Wind represents knowledge of the environment, the understanding of different perspectives, and the ability to perceive what is beyond oneself. For Musashi, wind symbolizes the act of looking at the world around you, observing others, and learning from them. In the realm of emotional intelligence, this translates into the practice of empathy and situational awareness. Often, we focus so much on our own emotions and problems that we fail to notice what is happening around us. Wind teaches us to expand this perception. Knowing how the people around you feel, observing their reactions, and understanding their intentions is fundamental to developing emotional intelligence. When you perceive external signals, you can adjust your behavior and interact more harmoniously and effectively. Imagine yourself in a conflict situation at work or home. Instead of reacting immediately, practice the teaching of wind. Observe the environment, pay attention to the words, gestures, and tone of voice of those involved. Ask yourself, what is really happening here? What is the emotion behind the words? Wind also reminds us that our perspective is not the only one. Each person has their own experiences, emotions, and ways of seeing the world. Developing this awareness is part of emotional growth. The more you understand what others feel, the more you can interact with them in a wise and balanced way. The fifth ring, void, a serene mind and inner wisdom. Finally, Musashi presents us with the last and deepest of the rings, void. Void is the state of the formless mind, the absence of judgments, complete stillness. In the context of emotional intelligence, void represents the ability to detach from emotions and thoughts, reaching a state of pure presence and awareness. Void does not mean ignoring or repressing your emotions. On the contrary, it is about being able to observe them in a detached manner, without being dominated by them. It is when you reach the point where your emotions no longer control your actions but instead become tools you use consciously. The samurai who attains void is the one who can act without hesitation, with absolute clarity, because they are not bound by fears, desires, or thoughts. In everyday life, achieving void can be understood as finding a state of inner peace. It's that moment when, faced with a difficult situation, you can pause, breathe, and respond calmly and consciously, without being swept away by the whirlwind of emotions. Practicing void can start with meditation. Take a few minutes of your day to simply sit in silence, observing your breath and letting thoughts flow without clinging to them. Over time, this practice becomes a way to bring quietude into everyday life. When you feel that your emotions are taking over, take a deep breath and remember void. It is from this state of presence that you can make clear decisions and act wisely. Void is the culmination of emotional intelligence, where you become the master of your emotions, capable of facing any challenge with a serene mind and a tranquil spirit. Now, tell me in the comments, which of Musashi's 5 rings resonated with you the most? Let's continue this journey of growth and overcoming together. Well, now that we've explored Musashi's 5 rings, earth, water, fire, wind, and void, it's time to think about how to apply them in your daily life. The goal is not to become a warrior on the battlefield, but a warrior in life, capable of facing your internal challenges with courage, calm, and emotional intelligence. 1. Self-knowledge, Earth Daily. Take a moment to reflect on your emotions. Write down your feelings, identify triggers, and understand your reactions. 2. Adaptability, Water. When facing a new or difficult situation, ask yourself, how can I flow with this? Avoid resisting change. Instead, seek to adapt in the best way possible. 3. Controlled passion, Fire. When you feel an intense emotion, use that energy for positive action. Channel your anger or enthusiasm to create something constructive, avoiding impulsive decisions. 4. Empathy and perception, Wind. In social situations, practice listening and observing more than speaking. Notice others' emotions and use this perception to interact with balance and understanding. 5. Serenity, Void Daily. Practice meditation or any activity that helps you quiet your mind. Remember, true power lies in inner stillness. Finally, emotional intelligence is an art, a path that requires practice, patience, and dedication. Miyamoto Musashi, with his samurai wisdom, teaches us that we will be constantly challenged by internal battles, but by mastering our minds and emotions, we can act with the calm and precision of a true warrior. Life is a different kind of battlefield, but the principles of the Book of 5 Rings remain timeless. If you practice these lessons daily, you will be building a resilient, adaptable, and serene mind, ready to achieve your goals and overcome any obstacle. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your mind. Be like the earth, firm; like water, adaptable; like fire, powerful but controlled; like wind, perceptive; and finally, like void, serene. In this way, you will become the true master of yourself and your life. Now that you've heard about the 5 rings and the wisdom of the samurai, I invite you to a brief meditation. This will be an opportunity to internalize everything you've just learned and strengthen your emotional intelligence. Find a quiet, comfortable place. Sit up straight, relax your shoulders, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath, feeling the air slowly entering and leaving your body. Let's begin. First, visualize yourself on the earth. Imagine standing on solid, stable ground. This is your foundation, your self-knowledge. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, who am I? What am I feeling right now? With each breath, feel more connected to your essence, accepting your emotions and finding your inner strength. Now, become like water. Imagine yourself flowing like a river, adapting to every curve and obstacle you encounter. With each inhale, feel the flexibility within you. Ask yourself, how can I adapt to life's challenges? As you exhale, release any resistance, allowing yourself to flow peacefully with the changes around you. Next, feel the warmth of fire within you. It is your passion, your energy. Focus on the center of your body and feel that flame. Ask yourself, how can I use this energy positively? With each breath, feel the control you have over this flame, directing it to illuminate your path, rather than burning you. Now, let your mind expand like the wind. Imagine yourself in an open field, feeling the gentle breeze on your face. This is the moment to perceive the world around you. Ask yourself, what is happening beyond me? Who is around me, and how do they feel? As you breathe, become more perceptive and connected with your surroundings and the people in your life. Finally, enter the void. Visualize a vast, silent, and tranquil space. This is where there are no judgments, just pure presence. Remain in this silence for a few moments. Take a deep breath and feel what it is like to be free from emotional distractions, with a serene and clear mind. This is your state of inner power. When you're ready, start bringing your attention back to the present. Slowly move your fingers and toes. Take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, feel renewed, carrying the wisdom of the 5 rings with you. Open your eyes slowly. The journey continues, and you are now more prepared than ever to face your challenges with emotional intelligence and the mind of a true samurai.